Good morning.
Good morning. It's Thursday, August 10th. It's around 8 in the morning. So I think it's probably the coldest night of this trip, right? Um, but luckily we had a spot where the sun kind of hit our campsite about 15 minutes ago and it's like warmed up tremendously. And because it's still like, I guess first thing in the morning, the mosquitoes are not bothering us yet. You can see a ton of them on the lake. But they're staying away from us so far because we're kind of half sun, half shade. So really, without really knowing what to expect from this lake, because it's off the trail and not huge, it was a great site.
Yeah.
And actually found
And not hard to get here.
not hard to get to at all. And there's actually there's at least one other site on the other side of the lake that looks pretty good too. So if you're ever in the area, come check it out. I still can't pronounce it right. Aren't. So like are not, aren't lake. Today we're going to, I think, probably one of the most popular lakes on the loop, Peeler Lake.
Yeah.
And there's a big no camping area, but apparently there's lots of campsites either before or after. But this waterfall sounds really intriguing, so we're I mean, it's a pretty short day, so we're just kind of taking our time, but I think we'll still be on the trail pretty much. Usually around 8:30 or so, we've been hitting the trail. Oh, why did I put my shoes on? Because we have a water crossing coming.
Oh, I don't know why you put
Why
your shoes on.
did I do that? All right, I'm taking those off, going to the Crocs. So yeah, to get back on the trail, we have to cross the water, and it's not rock hoppable. So sun feels great.
We'll check in later.
Check in later.
So we got to this creek crossing that Brian was able to jump, but it's just too wide for me. So Brian's gonna go up there to the rocks and wait for me.
Okay, day 7 update. We just got to the junction with Peeler Lake Trail, and we were just attacked by mosquitoes, so quick snack and keep moving. And we're making our way up towards the lake. Very nice. All right, day 7 update. So we just traversed around Peeler Lake. It's big and beautiful, but they really had the, if you want to camp at the lake here, there's basically, I call it a tent town.
Yeah.
Halfway across the lake.
There were already, what, maybe 4 tents there?
Yeah, and I'm sure there'll be more. So we're not really looking to do that. So as we're on the other side, we found a pretty nice shady spot, not close to water, but we could make it work. But then sadly, boo. I feel like this is far enough away from the water but
Right.
we will be good backpackers and follow the rules. So looks like we got a big snowfield we got to cross. And the trail should hook up with running water, so I'm sure there's more sites. But yeah, we were actually probably gonna stay here unless something better showed up, but now we'll keep looking. All right, day 7 update. We made it down from Peeler Lake. We found a nice shady spot, shady but buggy. So we're over here. We've got the water coming down from Peeler Lake, so gonna scoop up some water and get situated for tomorrow, but we'll have a nice relaxing afternoon. Unfortunately, unlike the past couple of days, it won't be outside by a nice lake. It'll be in the tent to avoid all the mosquitoes, but that's fine. It's not a bad way to spend whatever day of the week it is, a Thursday afternoon. So gonna get the camp chores done and then get settled inside the tent. And we'll check in later. All right, so it's day 7, around 2:30 in the afternoon. Once we got the tent set up, Sarah kind of hung out inside the tent, doing some knitting in the shade, and I was able to kind of hang out outside the tent. And the mosquitoes were pretty much non-existent and just a few flies to deal with, but even they weren't very bad. So sat in the camp chair and had some tailwind, had another cup of coffee, and now just decided to stretch my legs just a tiny bit. I started continuing on the trail and came to another decent campsite not far from ours where they had that yellow no camping sign. So I just decided to kind of make a right off the trail and found lots of decent potential campsites and some running water. And I'm wondering if this is more snow melt than an actual stream, because it's not showing up on a topo map as a little blue line. But have definitely found some really good camping. Um, in fact, the spot Sarah and I have is good, but you can kind of see our tent from the trail, where this is definitely more remote. And it's only 500 feet from the trail, so it's not like it's super far from the trail. But it just goes to show, if you're willing to go off trail just a little bit, you can find some really good spots. And keep your ears open, because then you got running water too, which is pretty nice. So I'm kind of now making my way back towards the actual trail junction. I mean, I have Crocs on, so it's not like I was going to do any kind of big exploration here. Just wanted to stretch my legs and see some of the sights off trail. So that's a little update for day 7, and we'll check in later. Okay, day 7, Thursday afternoon. It's like 5 o'clock. Been hanging out either outside camp, inside the tent.
Knitting.
Sarah's been knitting. Actually, this seemed like it would be a pretty buggy site, but it really wasn't bad at all. So it worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
We couldn't get a spot overlooking the lake, but I mean, we could have been close to the lake, but we would have been with a ton of other tents, and that's fine sometimes, but just wasn't
Feeling it.
Especially since we had some great nights at other lakes. So we're here.
We have running water near us.
Oh yeah, running water near us. Yeah.
Shade.
In fact, the water was running so well that it's ice cold, so it actually chilled up the beer nicely. It's like a nice cold beer. So, like most of our trips, we always have wiggle room, right? So we had 8 nights planned for this one, but
and we didn't do any double
nighters,
which we had hoped to do, but we didn't.
I think
nothing was.
Looking back, it wouldn't have been really any opportunity to explore, but Benson Lake
would have been the place.
To hang out and spend a second night. So,
oh well.
But it still worked out great.
Yeah.
And we really do have I think in between these backpacking trips, especially when we have a drive, which we do, we have 2 nights. 2 nights is kind of cutting it close.
Yeah.
5 nights is way too much.
Right. So
But 3 nights is a good happy medium.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to come out of the backcountry a day earlier than planned. Still a 7-night, 8-day trip. It's been awesome. So that'll give us an extra day of wiggle room to drive to our next spot. And this one, we actually have to pick up our permit in person. We can't just print it out. So that's a little wrinkle that gets added to it. But then no big deal. Probably have to watch a video and they'll quiz us on things. So that's always fun. But since COVID, you don't get used to do that all the time. And now sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. So because there's been, similar to our situation we've had, I think our last trip, there's been no cell service. So I can't cancel a hotel reservation we have for not Friday night, but Saturday night in Lone Pine. So probably we'll have to keep that. And whether we stay 2 nights at that hotel in Lone Pine, or ideally spend 2 nights in Tulare, California. It's just because it's closer to the trailhead and to where we need to pick up the permit, and also because it's a Hilton property, so it'll have good Wi-Fi to work on videos and download more videos for the next trip and all that fun stuff. But we'll figure that out. Be super flexible with that kind of stuff. So we'll have to get a room on a Friday night at either Mammoth Lakes or Bishop or Lone Pine,
Yep.
um, or Tulare, I guess. But that would be quite a drive. And we still have like 7 miles to hike out
Tomorrow.
of here tomorrow. But usually on our out day, we get up, we're motivated to get going early.
And we know the trail. It's all downhill and it's not
Yeah.
hard.
No, it's not hard. So maybe we can even get a nice breakfast somewhere. We'll see. So that's the update, but it's been a really nice, relaxing day here. We've been here since like noon, pretty much. So we didn't even have to. Did we move it? No, we didn't have to move the tent. Yeah. So I hung outside in the shade, and the bugs weren't bad at all.
I hung out in the tent.
And you even had your puffy on at some point.
I did. It was cold in the shade.
Yeah. But now it's like really comfortable, and I think we're done with the sun.
Yeah.
So I saw one backpacker heading out, and we just saw two heading in, but we're not really paying that much attention. So if they're not making noise, we're not going to know about it. So that's the update, and we'll see you in the morning for day 8. And
Day 7.
I thought this was day 7.
Oh yeah, day 8 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. We'll see you for day 8 on the way out, and a town day somewhere, maybe multiple towns.
We'll see.
See where we end up. You never know.